The computer is a moron because computers have memories. We imagine that they must be something like our human memories. Computer memories work in a manner alien to human memories. Computer viruses are an urban legend. A computer will do what you tell it to do, but that may be much different from what you had in mind. Never-ending rhymes. Don't explain computers to laymen. Simpler to explain sex to a virgin. Computers are quiet and clean and totally distracting because the internet is there lying in wait for a moment of weakness to pounce on your creativity and progress. Computers are good at following instructions but not at reading your mind. Never-ending rhymes, never-ending intertwine, never-end until the end of time. Computer science is a science of abstraction, creating the right model for a problem and devising the appropriate mechanizable techniques to solve it. The real danger is not that computers will begin to think like men, but that men will begin to think like computers. A computer does not smell if a book is anew. It smells great, rhyming away goes the day. Computers are incredibly fast, accurate, and stupid. Humans are incredibly slow and accurate and brilliant. Together they are powerful beyond imagination. Rhyming equation. I regard the brain as a computer, which will stop working when its components fail. There is no heaven or afterlife for broken down computers. That is a fairy story for people afraid of the dark. Wrap it dust up, wrap it on, start to spark. Supercomputers will achieve one human brain capacity by 2010, and personal computers will do so by about 2020. Been rampant a money. Computers make it easier to do a lot of things, but most of the things they make it easier to do don't need to be done. The spread of computers and the internet will put jobs in two categories: people who tell computers what to do and people who are told by computers what to do. But that's the thing about people who think they hate computers. What they really hate is lousy programmers. Rampant rapper. It's not computer literacy that we should be working on, but sort of human literacy. Computers have to become human literate. Rapping all the sleepless nights I have spent. A computer would deserve to be called intelligent if it could deceive a human into believing that it was a human. The rise of Google, the rise of Facebook, the rise of Apple, I think are proof that there is a place for computer science as something that solves problems that people face every day. Away goes the day, away goes the day, away. As I spent all day and all night spitting never-ending rhymes. It was one thing to use computers as a tool, quite another to let them do your thinking for you. Toot-a-loo, Scooby-Doo, toucan, Scooby-Doo, fruit of the loom. Computers are good at following instructions, but not at reading your mind. Never-ending rhymes. The real danger is not that computers will begin to think like men, but that men will begin to think like computers. Calculator. Right now, computers, which are supposed to be our servant, are oppressing us. Computers don't kill books, people do. Computers are hierarchical. We have a desktop and hierarchical files which have to mean everything. No one will need more than 637 kilobytes of memory for a personal computer. Rapper calculator. Any fool can write code that a computer can't understand. Good programmers write code that humans can't understand. Rapper wham bam, thank you ma'am. Computer is a link to the outside world. Anyway, all these computers and digital gadgets are no good. They just fill your head with numbers, and that can't be good for you. Toucan, Scooby-Doo. If you don't want to be replaced by a computer, don't act like one ba-dum-bum. And the computer will live your life, listen to you, and understand you better than humans can. Wham bam, a game, a trash can. This whole phenomenon of the computer in the library is an amazing thing. Rinda bang bang. Anyone who spends their life on a computer is pretty unusual. DNA is like a computer program, but far more advanced than any software ever created. Rapping hiated. It is hard to smash a computer when you're laughing, rapping. Computers are great because when you're working with them, you get immediate results that let you know if your program works. It's the feedback. You don't get from many other things. The internet, we are not interested in it. I spit and I hiss and I jest, raps in a mess. If being a nerd means you're somebody who can enjoy exploring a computer for hours and hours late into the night, then the description fits me, and I don't think there's anything pejorative about it. But here's the real test, it rhymes in a mess. I've never used a pocket protector, so I can't really be a nerd, can I? Rap rabbi, annihilate die, illuminati. The great thing about a computer notebook is that no matter how much you stuff into it, it doesn't get bigger or heavier. I'd be happy if I could think that the role of the library was sustained and even enhanced in the age of the computer. The computer was born to solve problems that did not exist before. Rubber and ricochet and splitter and splatter. Computers themselves and software yet to be developed will revolutionize the way we learn. Spin raps into the urn. Computers are useless. They can only give you answers. Rap and prancer, enhancer. Treat your password like your toothbrush. Don't let anybody else use it and get a new one every 6 months. Rapping a tusk, bump. One of the most feared expressions in modern times is the computer is down. Wow, frown, I'll turn that frown upside down. Tear of the sad clown. Wow, pow, bow, wow, wow, yippee-oh, yippee-ay, mow, bow, wow. Man is still the most extraordinary computer of all. Rip it up, ball. To err is human, but to really foul things up, you need a computer. Computer science is no more about computers than astronomy is about telescopes. Computing is not about computers anymore, it's about living, rapping never ending. Computers are magnificent tools for the realization of our dreams, but no machine can replace the human spark of spirit, compassion, love, and understanding. Never ending, I'm rapping. There's no reason for any individual to have a computer in his home, spitting rhymes off the top of my dome. Well, there I go. There I go, spitting notes into fruit of the loom into my phone. There I go, whoa, there I go, spitting notes all day and all night. Spitting in the world of software, the best way to predict the future is to invent it. Spitting, I'm rapping. The world of spitting code is like humor. When you have to explain it, it's bad. Rapping, simplicity is the soul of efficiency. The function of good software is to make the complex appear to be simple. Rap a dimple. Refactoring is like dental hygiene for software engineers. Skip it and you'll have a lot more to worry about than just a bad smell. Raps that I dwell. Debugging is twice as hard as writing the code in the first place. Therefore, if you write the code as cleverly as possible, you are, by definition, not smart enough to debug it. Rapping rhymes, I tug it. First solve the problem, then write the code. Well, there I go, spitting notes into my phone. Programming isn't about what you know, it's about what you can figure out. I shout and I pout, wow, there I go. Never stop bugging out, tweaking the fuck out. I shout and I pout. The only way to learn a new programming language is by writing programs in it. The best error message is the one that never shows up. The software engineering is not just about writing code, it's about solving problems and making life better. Never end a rapper. The best performance improvement is the transition from the non-working state to the working state. Free-to-lay, getting away goes today. Every great developer you know got there by solving problems they were unqualified to solve until they actually did it. Rap it, I spit it, I skip it. Write it, run it, fix it. It's not just a code, it's a lesson in persistence. The art of programming is the art of organizing complexity, of mastering multitude and avoiding its bastard chaos as effectively as possible. Rap a probable, probable. Don't wait for a perfect moment to start coding. Start with the moment and make it perfect. Rapping the butterfly effect. Remember, the code you write today is the bug you fix tomorrow. Embrace the cycle with passion, never ending. I'm rapping. Learning the right program stretches your mind and help you think better. Never end. A rapper creates a way of thinking about things that I think is helpful in all domains. Rapping, wait, goes to the day. Great programming isn't about writing lines of code, it's about solving problems and making a difference. Rap infinites. The most damaging phrase in the language of developers is, it always been done this way. Break the cycle, innovate, rap away. Software development is a journey, every bug fixed is a lesson learned. The best software is the one that meets the needs of the users, not the one of the most with the most features. Rapping articulate. Great code is its own best documentation. As you're about to add a comment, ask yourself, how can I improve the code so that this comment isn't needed? Rapping never ended, I pleaded. The task of the software developer is to engineer the illusion of simplicity. It's not a bug, it's an undocumented feature. Rapping a bewarer, never ending scare. Programming isn't about typing, it's about thinking. Rapping never ending. Refactoring your code is like cleaning up the kitchen after cooking, skip it, and everything is harder. Rapping one of another. The most exciting phrase to hear in software development, the one that heralds new discoveries, is not eureka, but that is funny, honey, a bunny. But these are the funny coding posts to relax your mind while debugging. Rapping, if debugging is the process of removing software bugs, then programming must be the process of putting them in. Ring a ring, ting a ding ding, ding dong again, gang again again. In order to understand recursion, one must first understand recursion. There are only two hard things in computer science: khaki and validation, and naming things. Repetition, bing, bing, bing. Programming today is a race between software engineers striving to build bigger and better idiot-proof programs in the universe, trying to produce bigger and better idiots. So far, the universe is winning. Rapping code never lies. Comments sometimes do. Fruit of the loom, toucan Scooby-Doo. Quality is not an act, it is a habit. I rap it, I spit it. The strength of JavaScript is that you can do anything. The weakness is that you will rap a spill, a rap a dill. A good programmer looks both ways before crossing a one-way street. It's harder to read code than to write it. Spit it, I rap it. The most important property of a program is whether it accomplishes the intention of its user. Rapping abuser. Programs must be written for people to read, and only incidentally for machines to execute. Rapping a parachute. Programming is the art of doing one thing at a time, never ending rhymes. The best code is no code at all. Rap a ba. Real programmers can write assembly code in any language. Rap a bam bam wham bam, think it up, ma'am. It's not about how fast you can code, but how well you can think. Rap a dim babe, never ending again. The web does not just connect machines, it connects people. The craft of web development is not just about making a site look good, it's about making connections. In web development, the best tool for the job is not always the newest or the shiniest, but the one that best fits the task at hand. Rap a men's, a rap a band. Wham bam thank you a man. I spick in a span. Very clean, not a man. Responsive web design isn't just about making your page display correctly on any device. It's about understanding and crafting the user's journey across devices. Rhyming a hiatus. The strength of the web is in its universality. Access by everyone regardless of disability is an essential aspect. Writing code is like writing poetry in web development. Every line must have a purpose, be beautiful yet efficiently serve its function. Rap a dysfunctional, I put the fun in dysfunctional. Rapping fictional, non-fictional, metaphorical, I put the fun in dysfunctional. The difference between a website and a web experience is the story it tells and the journey it takes its users on. Rap Cybertron, rap marathon. Debugging is like being the detective in a crime movie where you are also the murderer. Rapping dirt, spit dirt, rhymes on a silver plat, dirt. A successful website does three things. It attracts the right kinds of visitors, guides them to the main services or product you offer, collect contact details for a future ongoing relation. Spit equation. Programming is the art of telling another human being what wants the computer to do. Toot-a-loo. Everybody should learn to program a computer because it teaches you how to think. Ramadan, pink. Software is like sex, it's better when it's free. Web development is difficult, only then it is fun to do. You have to set your standards. If it were to be easy, would anyone do it? Whether I spit it, I rap it. Quality is a product of a conflict between programmers and testers. Rapper, I mess up, I'm a spitter, a rapper. I taught myself how to program computers when I was a kid. Bought my first computer when I was 10 and sold my first commercial program when I was 12. Spitting raps on the shelf. If we want users to like our software, we should design it to behave like a likable person. Software and cathedrals are much the same. First we build them, then we pray. Rapping away goes the day. You can't always get what you want. Cybertron, Megalodon, Rap Marathon. You might not think that programmers are artists, but programming is an extremely creative profession. It's logic-based creativity, rapping for eternity. I'm not a great programmer, I'm just a good programmer with great habits. Rap it, I spit it, a rabbit. Programming is learned by writing programs. Most good programmers do programming not because they expect to get paid or get adulation by the public, but because it is fun to program. Wham bam, a damn bam, a wham bam. Thank you, ma'am. Programmers seem to be changing the world. It would be a relief for them and for all of us if they knew something about it. Hope you liked these coding, spitting, rapping, never ending, raps in a mess. I hiss and I jest. Must be something wrong with my head. Here I go spitting again and again off the top of my head. Spit never ending again and again. What must be? First make the change. Easy warning, this might be hard. Then make the change. Easy change. Simple things should be simple. Complex things should be possible. Being software can be reusable. It first has to be usable. Simplicity is prerequisite for reliability. Most software today is very much like an Egyptian pyramid with millions of bricks piled on top of each other with no structural integrity, but just done by brute force and thousands of slaves rapping away and bam, away goes the day. Premature optimization is the root of all evil. Knievel, rap a devil. Any problem in computer science can be solved with another level of indirection. Spitting, rapping, a fraction, a fiction. The best performance improvement is the transition from the non-working state to the working state. Free delay. I can't be as confident about computer science as I can be about biology. Biology easily has 500 years of exciting problems to work on. It's at that level. Rap with a shovel, a never ending, a muzzle, a shizzle, my nizzle, a drizzle. Or object-oriented programming languages support encapsulation, thereby improving the ability of software to be reused, refined, and tested, maintained, and extended. The full benefit of this support can only be realized in encapsulation. It is maximized during the design process. I'm rapping a mess, hissing, I jest, I spit in a mess. Computer science is not about machines in the same way that astronomy is not about telescopes. There is an essential unity of mathematics and computer science. Reliance a computer lets you make more mistakes faster than any other invention, with the possible exceptions of handguns and tequila. Rapping a syllable killer, never ending a spiller. Many people tend to look at programming styles and language like religions. If you belong to one, you cannot belong to others. But this analogy is another fallacy. More good code has been written in languages denounced as bad and languages proclaimed wonderful, much more abhor. Sun Microsystems had the right people to make Java into a first-class language, and I believe it was the Sun marketing people who rushed the thing out before it should have gotten out. I shout and I pop, wow. But there are only two kinds of languages, the ones people complain about and the ones nobody uses, abuses, rhyme a nuisance. The cost of adding a feature isn't just the time it takes to code it. The cost also includes the addition of an obstacle to future expansion. The trick is to pick the features that don't fight each other. Rapper never ender a spitter. Einstein repeatedly argued that there must be simplified explanations of nature because God is not capricious or arbitrary. No such faith comforts the software engineer. Rapper ends up puppeteer. You can mass produce hardware, you cannot mass produce software, you cannot mass produce the human mind. Never ending rhymes all day and all night. Any organization that designs a system will produce a design whose structure is a copy of the organization's communication structure. Optimism is an occupational hazard of programming. Feedback is the treatment. Rapping beneath me. Always code as if the guy who ends up maintaining your code will be a violent psychopath who knows where you live. Rap-a-dim-bim-bim-bim. Spitting again and again. Never stop spitting again and again. What must be wrong with my head? Most good programmers do programming not because they expect to get paid or get a donation by the public, but because it is fun to program. The trouble with programmers is that you can never tell what a programmer is doing until it's too late. Rapid wait goes the day. Few companies that installed computers to reduce the employment of clerks have realized their expectations, but they now need more and more expensive clerks, even though they call them operators and programmers. Rapper, a spitter, freestyler. You might not think that programmers are artists, but programming is an extremely creative profession. It's logic-based creativity, rapping for eternity. An entire generation of talented people, engineers, artists, scriptwriters, musicians, programmers have been busy creating a whole new art form for us. The name of this new game is interactivity, rapid profanity, and wham bam infinity. Real programmers can write assembly code in any language, rapid infinite style language. Our job as the game creators or developers, the programming artists and whatnot, is that we have to kind of put ourselves in the user's shoes. We try to see what they're seeing and then make it and support what we think they might think of thing, but brain unmaintained. I end up pleading my case to alternative programmers. You're telling me that my music is too dark for pop, too pop for alternative, and urban radio won't touch it. So we have a record that doesn't fit in, and what is more alternative than that? Spitting raps in a mess. LISP programmers, LISP programmers know the value of everything and the cost of nothing. Rapping programmers can be lazy, spitting rhymes in a hazy. Programmers are in the enviable position of not only getting to do what they want to, but because the end result is too important, they get paid to do it. There are other professions like that, but not that many. Rapping infinite blasphemy, making Al more sensitive to the full scope of human thought is no simple task. The solutions are likely to require insights derived from fields beyond computer science, reliance by enhancement, which means programmers will have to learn to collaborate more often with experts in other domains. Rapping again and again, free to lay away goes the day. It is practically impossible to teach good programming to students that have had a prior exposure to basic as potential programmers. They are mentally mutilated beyond hope of regeneration. Equation the standard library saves programmers from having to reinvent the wheel. Spitting rhyming a heel, never ending appeal. Rhymer a hit and I squeal, never ending. Spitting rhymer a devil, a spitter, a rapper, never ending programmer, a machine that turns coffee into code. Computers are fast, programmers keep it slow. Well, there I go. When I wrote this code, only God and I understood what I did. Not only God knows the woe. There I go. A son asked his father why the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. His response, it works. Don't touch. Spit rhyming on bucks. How many programmers does it take to change a light bulb, knowing that's a hardware problem. Spitting rappers, I got them. Spitting rhyming, I cybertron them. Never stop spitting, rapping, I got them. Never stop spitting, rappers, I got them. Spitting, I cybertron them, teeter-totter, never ending rapper. Beware, there I go spitting, rhymes in a mess. I hiss and digest, spitting raps in a mess. Computers are useless, they can only give you answers. Computers are like bikinis, they save people a lot of guesswork. They have computers and they may have other weapons of mass destruction. Spitting rapping, never revelation, resurrection. That's what's cool about working with computers. They don't argue, they remember everything, and they don't drink all your beer. Rapper, I say a cheers. Spent all these years drinking all these beers. I say cheers. That's what's cool about working with computers. They don't argue, they remember everything, and they don't drink all your beer. If the automobile had followed the same development cycle as the computer, a Rolls Royce would today cost $100, get 1,000,000 miles per gallon, and explode once a year, killing everybody inside. Spent never-ending karate and rhymes. Baloney. Computers are getting smarter all of the time. Scientists tell us that soon they will be able to talk to us, and by they, I mean computers. I doubt scientists will ever be able to talk to us. A fuss, a dust, a rust, a dust. I've noticed lately that the paranoid fear of computers becoming intelligent and taking over the world has almost entirely disappeared from the common culture. Not near as I can tell, this coincides with the release of Miss-Dose, spitting rhymes in a woe. The question of whether computers can think is like the question of whether submarines can swim. Dim. It's ridiculous to live 100 years and only be able to remember 30 million bytes. You know, less than a compact disc. The human condition is really becoming more obsolete every minute. Spitting rhyming, a timid. The city central computer told you, R2D2, you know better than to trust a strange computer. Rapper, calculator, never trust a computer you can't throw out a window. Rapping, a black widow. Hardware, the parts of the computer system that can be kicked. Ramming, tick, that, hickory, dickory, dock, sickly, hickory, dickory, dock. Most software today is very much like an Egyptian pyramid, with millions of bricks piled on top of each other, with no structural integrity, but just done by brute force and thousands of slaves. A babe. I finally learned what upward compatible means. It means we get to keep all our old mistakes. Rhyming a freaked away. There are two major products that come out of Berkeley, LSD and Unix. We don't believe this to be a coincidence. Every operating system out there is about equal. We all suck. Never stop spitting a must, a what's a bust, bum. Never stop spitting rum a tum. Never stop spitting rum a dum, bum. Spitting off the top of my dum. Right, go. When am I spitting? I only got nose. But there I go, spitting doesn't go, don't you go, no. Here I go, spitting notes off the top of my dome. That never ending. Get someone a program, you frustrate them for a day. Teach them how to program and you frustrate them for a lifetime. Don't comment, bad code, rewrite it. No one in the brief history of computing has ever written a piece of perfect software. It's unlikely that you'll be the first. Spit and rhyme, it hurts and ever ending from the earth. A programming language is for thinking about programs, not for expressing programs. You've already thought of it. It should be a pencil, not a pen. Sometimes it pays to stay in bed on Monday rather than spending the rest of the week debugging Monday's code. Whoa. Bad programmers worry about the code. Good programmers worry about data structures and their relationships. Debugging becomes significantly easier if you first admit that you are the problem. Spit rhyming, floor to throttle, a waddle, a doddle. It's better to wait for a productive programmer to become available than it is to wait for the first available programmer to become productive. Rapping, I must have. Any fool can write code that a computer can't understand. Good programmers write code that humans can understand. Wham bam, make you a man. Never ending a wham bam, a lamb. A damn sacrificial lamb. Wham bam, make you man, sacrificial lamb. I am sacrificing the lamb, the sacrificial lamb. Wham bam, make you a man. One of my most productive days was throwing away 1,000 lines of code. Rapping, don't you know? Debugging is twice as hard as writing the code in the first place. Therefore, if you write the code as cleverly as possible, you are by definition not smart enough to debug it. Every day is like life is like programming. I guess if you love something, you can put beauty into it. Spitting mess and a best. Everybody in this country should learn to program on a computer because it teaches you how to think. And spitting a pink ring deep. System programmers are the high priest of a low cult. Spitting bolt. A good programmer is someone who always looks both ways before crossing a one-way street. Spitting a salami, karate, never ending, spitting for all of eternity. What must be wrong with me? Can't stop spitting salami, karate. Spitting programmers must be written for people to read, and spitting never endingly programmers, spitting never endingly for all of eternity. Must be something wrong with me. Never stop spitting for all of eternity. Programs must be written for people to read, and only incidentally for machines to execute. Spit rhyme too. Any fool can write code that a computer can't understand. Good programmers write code that humans can understand. First solve the problem, then write the code. Oh well, there I go. Experience is the name of everyone gives to their mistakes away. In order to be irreplaceable, one must always be different. Bent rapid dim bum. Java is to JavaScript, what car is to carpet. Spent rapping, knowledge is power, a prowler, a Timmy Jimmy power hour. Sometimes it pays to stay in bed on Monday rather than spending the rest of the week debugging Monday's code. Well, there I go. Don't you know? If you didn't know, well, perfection is achieved not when there is nothing more to add, but rather when there is nothing more to take away. Only God knows why. Spitting rubbish is rubbish. PHP is fantastic. Never stop rapping a mastic, elastic. Code is like humor when you have to explain it is bad. Fix the cause, not the symptom. The rapping optimism is an occupational hazard. A programming feedback is the treatment. Rapping a cement. When to use iterative development, you should use iterative development only on projects that you want to succeed. Proceed. Domain. Simplicity is the soul of efficiency. Before software can be reusable, it first has to be usable. Then wrap the possible, then probable. Make it work, make it right, make it fast. Then I hiss and I jest. I object, spitting raps in a mess. I'm not a good programmer, I'm just a good programmer with bad habits. Spitting rampant. Truth can only be found in one place, the code. Well, there I go. The most disastrous thing that you can ever learn is your first programming language. Rapping. I hate this. Never stop spitting. What must be wrong with my notes? Never stop spitting off the top of my dome. Well, there I go. Spitting off the top of my dome. Well, there I go. What must be wrong with? I can never stop spitting off the top of my dome. Talk is cheap. Show me the code. It's harder to read code than to write it. Spit it. I rap it. Bad programmers worry about the code. Good programmers worry about data structures and their relationships. Rapping I best about good software like wine tastes time. With spitting rhymes off the top of my mind. There I go all day and all night. Software is a great combination between artistry and engineering. This is a software-powered world as it spins and it whirls and it swirls and it twirls. One of my most productive days was throwing away 1,000 lines of code. Well, there I go. Then don't you know? Nothing works better than just improving your product. Spitting rapping a cybertronic. Something is unusable if it behaves exactly as expected. Rapping a hiatus. Listen to your customers, not your competitors. Rapper a spitter. Software is eating the world. Spitting rapper a twirl. Software is the magic thing whose importance only goes up over time. Never ending rhymes. Writing code is not production, it's not always craftsmanship, though it can be, its design never ending rhymes. The first 90% of the code accounts for the first 90% of the development time. The remaining 10% of the code accounts for the other 90% of the development time. Never ending rhymes all day and all night. Well, I'm like fine wine, gets better with time. I freestyling off the top of my mind. Machines take me by surprise with great frequency, never ending infinity. Indeed, one of the best ways to deflect attacks is to make it look like they're succeeding. It's the software equivalent of playing dead. Raps in a mess, code never lies. Comments sometimes do, rap but two can't Scooby-Doo. Any fool can write code that a computer can't understand. Good programmers write code that humans can understand. Wham bam thank you man. If at first you do not succeed, call it version 1.0, a 2.0. Laziness is a programmer's main virtue. Spitting rapping, a scarecrow, a Scooby-Doo. Eat, sleep, code, repeat. Eat, sleep, code, repeat, never endingly. A good programmer is someone who always looks both ways before crossing a one-way street. Yosemite, open sesame. Make it work, make it right, make it fast. Programmer is not a science, programmer is a craft. A rap, never ending rap. Confusion is part of programming, never ending rapping. Infinite, I'm spitting, spatting. The most important single aspect of software development is to be clear about what you are trying to build. A hill, a will, a dill, a ill, a spill. The only way to learn a new programming language is by writing programs in it. I spit it, I rap it, never end it. If you think it's simple, then you have misunderstood the problem. Rapping, flooring, the throttle. I got lightning in a bottle. I'm not a great programmer, I'm just a good programmer with great habits. A beat rabbit, a whap it. There's a saying in the software design industry: good, fast, cheap, pick two, rapping, toot, Mewtwo, Pikachu, Pikachu, Pikachu. Clean code always looks like it was written by someone who cares. Rappers, rhymers, beware. Programmers allow you to think about thinking, and while debugging you learn learning. Rapping, a spitting. Programming is a skill best acquired by practice, an example rather than from books. Spitting, a tuck. Programming is the art of telling another human being what one wants the computer to do. Fruit of the loom, spitting never ending lead to you. Programming is learned by writing programs. Wham bam thank you ma'am. Software and cathedrals are much the same. First we build and then we pray. Freak delay, rapper away goes today. The most fundamental problem in software development is complexity. There is only one basic way of dealing with complexity: divide and conquer. Never ender, a rapper. 90% of the functionality delivered now is better than 100% delivered never. Never end a rapper. There is no place like 127.7.0.1 spent rapping up bum bum bum. Programming today is a race between software engineers striving to build bigger and better idiot-proof programs in the universe, trying to produce bigger and better idiots. So far the universe is winning. Rapping never ending, I'm spitting word vomiting. The programmers of tomorrow are the wizards of the future. The programmers of tomorrow are the wizards of the future. You're going to look like you have magic powers compared to everybody else. Rapping out, spitting faces are beginning to melt. Coding like poetry should be short and concise. Spent rhyme by Cybertron. Rap Megalodon, a freestyle marathon. Controlling complexity is the essence of computer programming. Never ending rapping. Programming is a dark art, and it always will be. The programmer is fighting against the two most destructive forces in the universe: entropy and human stupidity. These are not things you can overcome with a methodology or on a schedule. Rapping, a haptic schedule. A program that has not been tested does not work. A work of if you aren't sure which way to do something, do it both ways and see which way works better. Rapper, never ender, a spitter. You might not think that programmers are artists, but programming is an extremely creative profession. It's logic-based creativity. Rapper for eternity, freestyle infinitely. Optimism is an occupational hazard. A program and feedback is the treatment. Rapping and cement. One bad programmer can easily create 2 new jobs a year. I'm saying cheers, drinking all of these beers. I am spitting their ending for all of these years, drinking all of these beers. I'm drowning in the bottom of this bottle, and I'm running from the man I swore I'd never beat. But do we really have to face tomorrow? But I'm the one that has to face me. It's the demons I've created for myself. The tragic truth, hard for me to understand myself. So it has to be hard as hell for you. For you, are we born to be broken? Sinners and saints, someone please tell the heavens I'm ready to escape. Heaven never end and lay again and again. When you don't create things, you become defined by your taste rather than ability. Your tastes only narrow and exclude people, so create. Java is to JavaScript what car is to carpet. Lisp isn't a language, it's a built-in material. Debugging is twice as hard as writing the code in the first place. Therefore, if you write the code as cleverly as possible, you are by definition not smart enough to debug it. Rapping, I tug of war it. The most important thing in the programming language is the name. A language will not succeed without a good name. I have recently invented a very good name, and now I am looking for a suitable language. Rapping a hiatus. Programmers are in a race with the universe to create bigger and better idiot-proof programs, while the universe is trying to create bigger and better idiots. So far, the universe is winning. Never end. I'm rapping, I'm spitting, I'm word vomiting, and I chant. I'm rapping again. I'm rapping raps in a mess. Never end, and I spit and I chant. What is wrong with my head? I can never stop spitting. I chant and I spit. Never end, and I chant in a mess. It's the job that's never started, as takes longer to finish. Someday is not a day of the week. A year from now you may wish you had started today. You may delay, but time will not. Rapping tater tot and delay, there lies no plenty. Only put off until tomorrow what you are willing to die, having left and done. Rumpa-dum-bum-bum-bum. You cannot escape the responsibility of tomorrow by evading it today. Free delay, away goes today. Whatever you want to do, do it now. Pow, there are only so many tomorrows. A rapping of great sorrow, saying apart until beat tomorrow. You can't get much done in your life if you only work on the days when you are feeling good. I spit and rapping above. How soon now, not now becomes never. Rapper forever, I'm never. Whatever you want to do it now. There are only so many tomorrows. Rapping, don't wait for extraordinary circumstance. Don't wait for extraordinary circumstance to do good. Try to use ordinary situations. In a moment of decision, the best thing you can do is the right thing to do. The worst thing you can do is nothing. Rapping, I'm spitting. One of the best escapes from the prison of procrastination is to take even the smallest step toward your goal. Spitting, rapping, a fool, a troll, a dull. He who every morning plans the transactions of that day and follows that plan carries a thread that will guide him through the labyrinth of the most busy life. Their end rhymes take time to deliberate, but when the time for action arrives, stop thinking and go in. Rap-a-ding-dim-a-bim-bang. A good solution applied with vigor now is better than a perfect solution applied 10 minutes later. Rapper, a never-ender, spitter. A dream written down with a date becomes a goal broken down into step becomes a plan backed by action makes your dreams come true. Rap a toucan Scooby-Doo. Think of many things, do one. If you procrastinate when faced with a big difficult problem, break the problem into parts and handle one part at a time. Rapping off the top of my mind at the crack of a dime. Sometimes the bravest and most important thing you can do is just show up. A rap-a-dub. My raps are worth a dime a dozen. Rapping never ending, spitting. Tomorrow is often the busiest day of the week. Rapping, I spit and I tweak. The sooner I fall behind, the more time I have to catch up. One of the greatest laborers saving inventions of today is tomorrow. Spitter rapper. My mother always told me I wouldn't amount to anything because I procrastinate. I said just wait. Usually spit it away. I do my work at the same time each day. Spitting away goes today. Procrastination taught me how to do 30 minutes of work in 8 hours and 8 hours of work in 30 minutes. Rhyming, I spit it, never end it. I love deadlines, I love the whoosh and noise they make as they go by. Rhyming, I try never ending rhymes. If you wait until the last minute, it only takes a minute to do. Rhyming, toucan, Scooby-Doo, there I go. Never put off until tomorrow what you can do the day after tomorrow. I'll borrow a harrow. Do you know what happens when you give a procrastinator a good idea? Nothing. Never ending rapping. There's nothing so fatal to character as half-finished tasks wrapped in a mask. Never ending. A task left undone remains undone in two places: at the actual location of the task and inside your head. Incomplete tasks in your head consume the energy of your attention, and as they gnaw at your conscience. Much of the stress that people feel doesn't come from having too much to do. It comes from not finishing what they started. Rapping, never ending. I have spent my days straining and unstraining my instrument while the song I came to sing remains unseen. Rapping, infinite, 'tis the season. Motivation is what gets you started. Habit is what keeps you going. Rapping, don't you know it? Follow through is the only thing that separates dreamers from people that accomplish great things. Ding. Even if you're on the right track, you'll get turned over if you just sit there. Rappers, amateurs, sit and wait for inspiration. The rest of us just get up and go to work. Spit rapper dirt, never ending work. Spurt rappers, never ender. What is wrong with me? Rappers, beware, you're in for a scare. Brego, never ending rapping. Rappers, beware, Brego, spitters, rappers, never ender. Electronic music is innately tied to the technology used to create it. As the tools evolve, so will the art. Spitting the raps and I spark. Electro is today's disco. Electro is today's disco. Making electronic music not for the sake of selling it, but for sharing it and touring around the world DJing. Spitting, rapping, if it is the element I miss in electronic music. No performance, no loving, immersion. Maybe that is why I was never particularly drawn to electronic music. I spit it, I use it. Computers and electronic music are not the opposite of the warm human music. It's exactly the same. Rapping insane. Electronics were rascals and they lay awake nights trying to find some way to screw you during the day. You could not reason with them. They had a brain and intestines but no heart. Spitting the rapper I start, never ending a hissing I spark. The new electronic independence recreates the world in the image of a global village. I find it so amazing when people tell me that electronic music has no soul. You can't blame the computer if there's no soul in the music. It's because nobody put it there. I rap and a scare. The fantastic advances in the field of electronic communication constitute a great danger to the piracy of the individual. Spit to rapping, never ending, impossible, improbable. Regardless what technology is, I like an analog to rapping, toucan, Scooby-Doo. Digital for storage and quickness, analog for fatness and warmth. Spitting rapper, never ending, spitting again. We need to substitute for the book a device that will make it easy to transmit information without transporting material. Disco is the first technology music, and what I mean is that disco music is named after discs, because when technology grew to where they didn't need a band in the clubs, the DJ played it on a disc. Rapping immense. I started thinking about pure electronics music again. Something very melodic, very aggressive. Techno is everything you haven't imagined yet. I'm not so rock and roll, I'm more techno. Rappers, don't you know? The universe consists of 5 protons, 5 neutrons, 5 electrons, and 85 morons. Don't be a prisoner of your own style. I love music and I love more than I love people. I love music more than I love people. Purple Snapple. I like to think the moon is there, even if I am not looking at it. Rapping, I spat it. Protons give an atom its identity. Electrons its personality. Rave music sounds like an electronic disco version of 30s Universal monster movies. I'm fascinated with the electronic devices that we can mess around with. Each of us is now electronically connected to the globe, and yet we feel utterly alone. We've have a trivialization of our politics going on ever since we had electronic media, rapping cinema. The human brain must contribute to frame the problems for the electronic machine to solve. Rapping about Atlantis was a highly evolved civilization where the sciences and arts were far more advanced than one might guess. Atlantis was technologically advanced in genetic engineering, computer science, interdimensional physics, and artistically developed with electronic music and crystal art forms, spitting and rapping a door, never ending a chord. Great numbers of children will be born who understand electronics and atomic power, as well as other forms of energy. They will grow into scientists and engineers of the new age, which has the power to destroy civilization unless we learn to live by spiritual laws. Spitting and rhyming Neanderthal, rhyming a Paul. Electronic calculators can solve problems which the man who made them cannot solve, but no government subsidized commission of engineers and physicists could create a worm, spitting up never ending a derm. A semen, says the demon, spitting never ending a demon semen to be spitting forever rapping. Techniques such as genetic engineering, psychoactive drugs, and electronic control of the brain make possible a transformation of the species into docile, fully obedient, safe organisms. Anti-establishmentarianism, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, ferocious overdose. Spitting, don't you know? The engineering is long gone, and most PC companies and the consumer electronic companies, they don't understand the software parts of it, and so you really can't make the products that you can make at Apple anywhere else right now. Wow, Apple's the only company that has everything under one roof. Toot-a-loo, spitting, don't you know, spitting, rapping. Although there I go, spitting notes into my phone. Oh, bam, wham, bam, bam, get a man. There I go, spitting again and again. Must be something wrong with my head. Can never stop spitting again and again. Never ending, I said. A spitting. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Ride and live today. If you want to be happy for a day, drink. If you want to be happy for a year, marry. If you want to be happy for a lifetime, ride a motorcycle. You don't stop riding when you get old. You get old when you stop riding. Life is not about waiting for the storms to pass. It's about learning how to ride in the rain. Wham bam, a vein up, reaching my hand out of the grave. A bike on the road is worth two in the shed. You are on your own. You are not protected by 2 tons of steel, rubber, foam padding, and safety glass. Neither are you steering 2 tons of guided missile toward other cars, people, and property. If you are prepared to accept the responsibility of your own actions, then motorcycling can be both safe and thrilling. Riding is an art as well as a craft, and no amount of explanation, equation, invasion can take the place of our experience. Rapping delirious. It wasn't until I went to college and I got my first motorcycle that I understood the thrill of speed. I am the need for speed. Rapping in between. I took my best when I take my helmet off after a long motorcycle ride. I have a glow and a bit of helmet hair. Rappers despair. The older I get, the faster I was. There are old bikers and there are bold bikers, but there are no old bold bikers. All spitting a rapper, never ending a equator, never stop spitter. What is wrong with my head? Can never stop spitting again and again. What is wrong with my head? Can never stop spitting again and again. I'll pop with my head. Can never stop spitting. Keep it short and simple. A good slogan is easy to remember and understand. Wham bam, unlock your car's potential. Driving perfection sense. Mending machines, making memories. Rev up your ride, never ending rhymes. Where quality and service meet. Got car troubles, we got solutions. Rhyme intuition, the art of automotive care. Rappers beware a scare. Empowering your vehicle. Drive with confidence. Repair, maintain, dominate. Craft and performance, one car at a time. Rhyming, I'll dot rap, I'll not my bot. Their experience are engineered. Rapper, a steer, a rap puppeteer. Are where unleash your car's potential. Precision and passion combined. mind. Driving excellence sense, revolutionizing the way your car moves. Trust the expert, superior service, exceptional results. Engineered for perfection, experience with the difference, then their end in excellence in motion. Elevating automotive standards, mastering the art of auto care. Rappers, beware, you're in for a scare, where elegance meets performance. Refined engineering, superior service, precision, craftsmanship at its finest. Driving and style expertly maintained. A tradition of automotive excellence, superior service with a touch of class. Elevate your driving experience. Distinctive service for discerning drivers, setting the bar for automotive prestige, captivate and performance, unsurpassed quality, sophistication and automotive care, refine, restore, renew, driving the grace and style, exceptional service for exceptional cars, attention to detail, tailored to you, prestige automotive solution, uncompromising quality, timeless luxury, rapid mastery, never ending divinity, never ending for all of eternity. Must be something wrong with me. There is no such thing as low maintenance or high maintenance, just a bunch of women hoping for a capable mechanic. A male gynecologist is like an auto mechanic who has never owned a car. A male gynecologist is like an auto mechanic who has never owned a car. Rappers afar. Mercedes-Benz, a mechanical device that increases sexual arousal in women. Rapping and never ending. A man too busy to take care of his health is like a mechanic too busy to take care of his tools. A rapping a fool. Don't think that even an engineer, when he buys a motor, takes it to bits to scrutinize it. Even he has a specialist buys from the external appearance. A motor ought to look like a birthday present. Rapping hesitant. I spent nights rapping again. A man who works with his hands is a laborer. A man who works with his hands and his brain is a craftsman. But a man who works with his hands and his brain and his heart is an artist. Rapping infinitist. I am such a gearhead in my recording studio. I personally engineer and edit everything on computers. Rap calculator. You know about fixing cars, you're athletic and you know when to shut up. The last one isn't a skill, honest, trust me, it's a skill. Rapping a will. A workman who wants to do this work must first prepare his tools. Rapping a fool. A racing car is an animal with 1,000 adjustments. The most important part of the vehicle maintenance is clean windows, so if you are broken down, you'll enjoy the beauty of the view. Fit in a replica canoe, then two can Scooby-Doo wrap up canoe. This is Leo, what's my title? Am I like Admiral or Captain or Repair Boy? Very funny, Piper, rapper, never ender, spitter, spitting. Aerodynamics are for people who can't build engines. I want and go, got a tire tool out of my truck and straightened him out as cold as a block of ice. It was an attitude adjustment and it'll work every time. Never ending splinter and rhymes. If you think you understood quantum mechanics, you don't understand quantum mechanics. If quantum mechanics hasn't profoundly shocked you, you haven't understood it yet. Mechanization is best serves mediocrity. Besides black art, there's only automation and mechanization. Common sense has no place in quantum mechanics. Without comedy as a defense mechanism, I wouldn't be able to survive. The best acting is instinctive. It's not intellectual, it's not mechanical, it's not instinctive, it's instinctive. Bureaucracy is a giant mechanism operated by pygmies, never ending rap hot cemetery. Be wary if it should be judged primarily on grace, elegance, and beauty rather than simply on mechanic tumbling, a rumbling, a fumbling. What art does it to coax us away from the mechanical and towards the miraculous? Spent rapping, never ending. Never trust a mechanic who drives new cars. They're either charging too much money for their work or they can't keep an old car running. Maybe both. Rapping whoa, there I go. At a car dealership, a person who sells the car is the hero and also gets the commission. But if the mechanics don't service the car well, the customer won't return. Rapping into the urn. Go into the auto mechanic, you've got to know computers to be able to work on cars, repertoire. I am equal to a baby and to 100-year-old lady. I am equal to an airplane pilot and a car mechanic. I am equal to you. You are equal to me. It's not that universal, except that it's not potato top. I think aesthetically car design is so interesting. The dashboards, the steering wheels, and the beauty of the mechanics. I don't know how any of it works. I don't want to know, but it's inspirational. Spittin' rapper, never ender. I've got a great team of engineers behind this race car. I've got a great bunch of mechanics that make it reliable. The car is developed to go out there and be better than the Renard, and I feel that it is rapping hiatus. I rapping a mess up, but take the self-driving car and the smartphone and put those together and think about how to manage a smart grid, because suddenly you have all of this data coming from those two mechanisms that allow for a much higher level of allocating energy much more efficiently, rapping never endingly. Everyone thinks because we love cars and our dad was in the business, we love the mechanical end of cars, rap afar apart. The second-hand artist blindly following the sensei for Sifu accepts his pattern. As a result, his action is, and more importantly, his thinking become mechanical. His responses become automatic according to set patterns, making him narrow and limited. Let's say you're a garage mechanic and you have big dreams about opening up your own chain of branded garages around the country. Terrific, rapping a simplistic, never ending. The finest piece of mechanism in all the universe is the brain of the man. The wise person develops his brain and opens his mind to the genius and spirit of the world's great ideas. He will feel inspired with the purest and noblest thoughts that have ever animated the spirit of humanity. Rapping profanity. The universe is not only queer than we suppose, it is queer than we can suppose. Rapping oppose. Whoa. Only lifeless mechanisms move along faultlessly straight lines and compass circles. And art, the surest way to destroy is to canonize one given form, and one philosophy that which is canonized quickly dies of obesity and entropy. Rapping canopy. I'm sure drugs and alcohol perhaps would inspire new thoughts, but it's certainly not something that I use as a tool or a mechanism or to create. Rapping away goes the day. If everything is made up of little particles and all the little particles follow quantum mechanics, then shouldn't everything just follow quantum mechanics? Rapping maniac, lunatic. I play with feelings, so I need to hear what is coming out of the amplifier to inspire me. I don't just play mechanically. I need to hear what I am doing in order to create the next note. If I don't hear it, then I can't feed myself. Raps on the shelf. In the past, I have not been able to hear it myself. I play with feelings, so I need to hear what is coming out of the amplifier to inspire me. I don't just play mechanically, rapping never endingly for all of eternity. In the past, I have not been able to hear it myself. I play with feelings, so I need to hear what is coming out of the amplifier to inspire me. I don't just play mechanically. I am inspired by human sexuality. The act itself is mechanical and maniacal and holds little interest to me. Spent rapping profanity, a vulgarity. Power is tolerable only on condition that it masks a substantial part of itself. Its success is proportional to its ability to hide its own mechanisms. Rapping anti-disestablishmentarianism. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, ferocious, vicious overdose, overflow. In every physical action, unless it is purely mechanical, there is concealed some interaction, some feelings. This is how the two levels of the life and a part are created, the inner and outer. They are intertwined. A common purpose brings them together and reinforces the unbreakable bond, while a cybertron, a wand. If we understand the mechanism and motives of the group mind, it is now possible to control and regiment the masses according to our will without them knowing it. but conscious and intelligent manipulation of the organized habits and opinions of the masses is an important element in democratic society. Those who manipulate this unseen mechanism of society constitute an invisible government, which is the true rule and power of our country. Rapping never ended in harmony. The brain is the organ of destiny. It holds within its humming mechanism secrets that will determine the future of the human race. Spitting, rapping away. Everything you stand for, believe in, experience, and aspire to is the result of thought, and thought is destructive because if it is nothing more than a protective mechanism programmed to protect its own interest at all costs. Spitting and rapping, I'm lost. Good posture can be successfully acquired only when the entire mechanism of the body is under perfect control. Rapping a wolf. The atoms or elementary particles themselves are not real. They form a world of potentialities or possibilities rather than one of things or facts. Spitting their end in raps. Moral justification is a powerful disengagement mechanism. Destructive conduct is made personally and socially acceptable by portraying it in the service of moral ends. This is why most appeals against violent means usually fall on deaf ears. Rapper saying cheers, drinking all of these beers, spending all of these years, chugging all of these beers, saying cheers. There are a number of mechanical devices which increase sexual arousal, particularly in women. Been rapping. Chief among these is the Mercedes-Benz 380 SL convertible. Rapping a pinnacle, a miracle spiritual. When forced to summarize the general theory of relativity in one sentence, time and space and gravitation has no separate existence from matter. Spitting rapper on a silver platter. Spitting never ender. I spitting never ending. I spatter. I am going to tell you what nature behaves like. If you will simply admit that maybe she does behave like this, you will find her a delightful and tracing thing. Do not keep saying to yourself if you can't possibly avoid it, but how can it be like that? Nobody knows how it can be like that. Never ending raps. It was not possible to formulate the laws of quantum mechanics in a fully consistent way without reference to the consciousness. When things get tough, there are two things that make life worth living: Mozart and quantum mechanics. Rapping schizophrenic. When you think about the complexity of our natural world, plants using quantum mechanics for photosynthesis, for example, a smartphone begins to look like a pretty dumb object. Rapping the butterfly effect. If quantum theory is correct, it signifies the end of physics as a science. Rapping reliance. The laws of quantum mechanics itself cannot be formulated without recourse to the concept of consciousness, slipping away into subconsciousness, my consciousness. The many worlds interpretation is the only completely coherent approach to explaining both the contents of quantum mechanics and the appearance of the world as it spins and it whirls and it swirls and it twirls. Rock and roll music, the music of freedom, frightens people and unleashes all manner of conservative defense mechanisms. Anti-establishment Terrarianism. The shark is the apex predator and the sea sharks have modeled evolution for 450 million years. All fish species that are prey to the sharks have had their behavior, their speed, their camouflage, their defense mechanisms molded by the shark. A spark to walk about, rapping in the dark. When you use defense mechanisms like everything in moderation, you only live once, and like you disguise the fact that over the years and decades, those little ice cream outings can add up literally to hundreds of pounds of ingested substances that are toxic to your body. Rapping karate, baloney, spitting origami, salami. What are you going to do when you are not saving the world as it spins and it whirls and it swirls and it twirls? You are an angel, my world. The human mind has a primitive ego defense mechanism that negates all realities that produce too much stress for the brain to handle. It's called denial. Rapping a handle, a shovel. What are you going to do when you love music? You can't stop a frop a dop a rop bop a bop. As a kid, I was short and only weighed 95 pounds, and though I was active in a lot of sports and got along with most of the guys, I think I used comedy as a defense mechanism. Anti-establishment Terrarianism, a thism, a shizzle, my nizzle, a infinitism. You know, making someone laugh is a much better way to solve a problem than by using your fist. Infinitist, rap experimentist, freestylist, lyricist, never ending infinitist, rap lyricist. My way of dealing with the world has always been to make fun of it and observe it, but to not take part in it. That's how I became a writer. But when you have kids, suddenly you have to be a part of things that leads almost to a breakdown, because your whole defense mechanism is now you're really destructive, instructive. Everyone is a little bitter. We're born bitter, but personality itself is really just a very complex defense mechanism, a reaction to the first time someone said, no, you can't, rampant and a mess, never ending. I said, there you go, never stop spitting, again and again, there you go, never ending, spitting, again and again, rhymes and a mess. Well, there I go, spitting raps and a mess. What must be wrong with my head? Botany, the science of the vegetable kingdom, is one of the most attractive, most useful, and most extensive departments of human knowledge. It is above every other the science of beauty. Rapping botany, the eldest daughter of medicine. Botany is the art of insulting flowers in Greek and Latin. Spitting, I'm rapping. But first studied the effect of plants on humans for my Yale thesis, and it was a 180-page thesis, and luckily I got honors on it. Spitting the rhyming electronic aromatic. I fell in love with flora of all types, especially ferns. Loves the sparse, structured, and repetition of shape, almost fractal, factual, fictional. The actual flower is the plant's highest fulfillment, and are not here exclusively for herbaria, county floras, and plant geography. They are here first of all for our delight. Never-ending rhymes all day and all night, all hail by light. Love not the flower they pluck in, no and not, and all their botany and as Latin names, just as the science and art of agriculture depend upon chemistry and botany, so the art of education depends on sociology and psychology. All gardening is landscape painting. Organic chemistry is the study of organs, and organic chemistry is the study of the insides of organs. Rapping a slogan, never ending. All flowers talk to me, and so do hundreds of little living things in the woods. I learned that I know by watching and loving everything. Rapping, never ending, again and again. I grow plants for many reasons: to please my eye or to please my soul, to challenge the elements or to challenge my patience, for novelty or for nostalgia, but mostly for the joy in seeing them grow. Whoa, there I go. What would surprise a lot of people about me? I'm a gardener. I have a green thumb. I really like to get into the shrubs, the bushes, and really cultivate. Gardening is an act of participation in the deepest mysteries of the universe, an attempt to study the evolution of living organisms without reference to cytology would be as futile as an account of stellar evolution which ignored spectroscopies. Rapping monopoly, never endingly. What is wrong with me? You never stop spitting for all of eternity. Must be something wrong with me. I don't do drugs, smoke just weed. Then never endingly. Two of my favorite things are sitting on my porch smoking a pipe of sweet hemp and playing my harmonica, cannabis, spit and rap abyss. When you smoke the herb, it reveals you to yourself. Spit raps on the shelf. Well, there I go, never ending. I spit and I melt. I spit and I melt. There I go, never ending. Spit and raps and a mess. There I go, never ending. I said I spit the raps, never ending. I don't give a crap, never ending. Spit the raps. I don't think it's more dangerous than alcohol. If you substitute marijuana for tobacco and alcohol, you'll add 8 to 24 years to your life. Never ending rhymes. Marijuana users are leaders of our community. These law just don't make sense. It is time for politicians to come out of the closet, spent rapping about it. Marijuana doesn't have a high potential for abuse, and there are very legitimate medical applications. In fact, sometimes marijuana is the only thing that works. Didn't rhyme it a terminator. A marijuana high can enhance core human mental abilities. Don't kill the high because you are the law. Don't spit a ball. People say you can't abuse marijuana, you can abuse cheeseburgers. Does that mean we should close Burger King? Rapping never endingly. Prison is for rapists, thieves, and murderers. If you lock someone up for smoking a plant that makes them happy, then you're the fucking criminal. Rap terminal. Struggle is the enemy, but weed is the remedy. Never ending. Rap comedy, a tragedy, a melody. When you smoke the herb, it reveals you to yourself. Why is marijuana against the law? It grows naturally upon our planet. Doesn't the idea of making nature against the law seem to you a bit unnatural? Then agricultural, articulate, rappable. A joint a day keeps the bad mood away. As by regulating marijuana, we can put black market drug dealers out of business and eliminate the rebellious allure that attracts young people. Never end in purple, a snapple. Don't judge someone until you have shared a joint with them. Rap and a mess. Everything is better with a bag of weed. Indeed, everything's better when you're high. Never end in spit and rhymes. High people understand other high people. They catch up things that others don't. Spit and rhyme. Oh, whoa, there I go. I don't have time to hate people who hate weed, because I'm too busy smoking with people who love weed. Indeed, friend with weed is a friend indeed. Spend never endingly. I don't smoke weed to escape reality. I smoke weed to enjoy reality even more. War, there I go. Spent never ending a tour. Spent there I go. Spitting raps and a mess. Well, there I go again. Twitter is a lot like crystal meth because it's really fun to do, and operas on it. Spitting rap of my butt. Spitting never ending. Story is a powerful stimulant with tremendous influence over how we think and act. Like meth, only safe for rapper never ender. Spitter equator. Nothing says Christmas like a burn of meth lab. Rapping again and again. But maybe I'm from a part of the country where there are more meth labs than dry fruits. Anything harder than cough syrup always make me nervous. Rapping a Terminator. Spitting equator. Spitting rapper never ender. Beware. I have heard repeated stories of meth users leaving their children unattended for days as they cook, use, and then sleep off the intense effects of methamphetamine, rapping, and infinite determining. Do you feel your best when you're strung out on your morphine and meth? Rapping a rap bear riff. So you got shit face spray painted a barn with a lovely shade of exorcist green puke. Fucked a donkey while you were there and started a fist fight with a recovering meth addict nun and her love child who were reenacted the nativity scene. Rapping rhymes in between never endingly. If the Southeast represents the new battlefield in the war on meth, then Tennessee clearly is at ground zero. Been rapper a hero. Can you really cook meth in a hotel coffee pot? A Cassell? Sure, Jones says, looking into his cup thoughtfully. Guess Palm was right about one thing. Rapping a ring-ding-a-ding. I don't know, being able to work with meth was pretty damn cool. But even that day, John the director gave me one of the best notes I've ever had. I walked into the scene just completely excited. I just couldn't believe I was going to work with meth. Spitting rapper, bear riff. I'd spit and rapper. I wasn't sure how it looked on proper. I wasn't sure how it looked on paper when a crew of custom eyeballs took on Canadian meth dealers. Rapping a squealer. Spit never ender. Operation Northern Star with Canada has made significant progress in battling meth from the north, and we are engaged in numerous training opportunities in Mexico to help curb the problem from the south. Spit rapper south. Wow, a doubt. I don't like hope very much. In fact, I hate it. It's the crystal meth of emotions. It hooks you fast and kills you hard. It's bad news. The worst is sharp sticks and cherry bombs. When hope shows up, it's only a matter of time until someone gets hurt. Rapping a squirt, a dirt, a work. Vamps who are dying or think they are. Give a piercing eardrum, burst and shriek like the love child of a screech owl and a mountain lion on crystal meth. Amplified like a 70s rock band. Wham bam bankin' ma'am. Spitting their end in a dam. A dozen swimming events have already been completed in the Olympic competition. I wonder where they got the name Speedo. It doesn't sound like a bathing suit. It sounds like a breakfast cereal for meth addicts. Rapping a cybo, a never-ending addict. Yet yet they enjoy the high and the surest sign that selenium actually makes them go mad. Cattle grow addicted to local weed despite its awful side effects and eat it to the exclusion of anything else. It's animal meth. Spitting wrap up bear riff. A new study shows that American students are becoming less proficient in science, and if the trend continues, Rapping Avenue, Toucan Scooby-Doo, there you go, spitting never ending, lead to you. What must be wrong with my head? Can never stop rapping off top of my head. Tut tut, looks like rain if I said. Tut tut, looks like rain if I said. Spitting rhymes on endless crystal meth, spitting rapping again and again. A new study shows that American students are becoming less proficient in science, and if the trend continues, we will become a nation that science and chemistry illiterate, and you fought a lot of meth labs are blowing up now. Wow, pow, bow, wow, 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 yippee-oh, yippee-yay. The meth is kissing me, softly teasing me with its horrible, like little claws, seducing my mind from the inside out. I shout and I pout. Wow, this chance like crystal meth leads over a cough syrup counter rapper, a never-ending sprouter, a never-ending rapper. Even for a meth addict, she was sleeping. Meth is a major problem, not only in our urban areas, but in most of the rural areas of Colorado. No region has been immune from this scourge, and it's getting larger. Rapping equator, never-ender. Kids are doing meth in every town in the country. Cat Dane, get your head out of your butt, spitting rhyme-a-tut, spitting never-ending, rhymes are not spitting never-ending, Here I go spitting brother tub. Here I go spitting rhymes of The calls for wisdom, let the person who has insight calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of the man, that number is 666, rhyming a dum. Then I saw a second beast coming out of the earth. It had two horns like a lamb, wham bam bankin' ma'am, but it spoke like a dragon. It exercised all the authority of the fire beast on its behalf, and made the earth spit in rhymes. It hurts, never ending, and its inhabitants worship the fire beast, whose fatal wound had been healed, and it performed great signs, even causing fire to come down from heaven to earth in full view of the people. Purple Snapple, because of the signs it has given power, a tower to perform on behalf of the first beast. It deceived the inhabitants of the earth in order them to set up an image in honor of the beast who was wounded by the sword and yet lived, rapping a dim. The second beast was given power to give breath to the image of the first beast, so that the image could speak and cause all who refused to worship the image to be killed. Rapping I spit and I spilled. It also forced all people, great and small, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hands or on their foreheads, so that they could not buy or sell unless they had the mark, a spark of dark, which is the name of the beast, or the number of its name. This calls for wisdom. Let the person who has insight calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of the man. That number is 666. Rapping again and again. 666, rapping again and again. Then I saw another angel flying in midair, and he had the eternal gospel to proclaim to those who live on the earth. It really hurts to every nation, tribe, language, and people. He said in a loud voice, ahoy, a boy, a toy, fear God and give him glory, because the hour of his judgment has come. Worship him who made the heavens, rapping, never ending, the earth, the sea, and the springs of the water, rapper, never ender, spitter. The second angel followed and said, fallen, I'm rapping, never ending, is Babylon the great, which made all the nations drink the maddening wine of her adulteries. Third angel followed them and said in a loud voice, if anyone worships the beast and its image and receives its mark on their forehead or on their hand, they too will drink the wine of God's fury, rapping glorify, never-ending rhymes, which has been poured full strength into the cup of his wrath. They will be tormented with burning sulfur in the presence of the holy angels and of the Lamb. Wham bam banky ma'am, sacrificial lamb. The beast was given a mouth to utter proud words and blasphemies, and to exercise the 40 for 42 months, rapping a hissing a bum, and the smoke of their torment will rise forever and ever, never end a rapper. There will be no rest day or night for those who worship the beast and its image, or for anyone who receives the mark of its name. Spitting, rapping away, and wham a bam bang a dam da ba. This calls for patient endurance on the part of the people of God who keep his commands and remain faithful to Jesus. Rhyming from Venus, and I saw that looked like a sea of glass glowing with fire, and standing beside the sea, those who had been victorious over the beast and its image, and over the number of its name. Wham bam a dame, They held harps given them by God, spent rap Cybertron marathon. But the beast was captured, and with it the false prophet who had performed signs on its behalf. Rapid them, bam, wham, bam, bang, ma'am. Yellow but the purple jelly, red jam, black bread, that Ted fed bread. With these signs he had deluded those who had received the mark of the beast and worshipped its image. The two of them were thrown alive into a fiery lake of burning sulfur. Rapper, never ender. I saw thrones on which were seated those who had been given authority to judge, and I saw the souls of those who had been beheaded because of their testimony about Jesus from Venus and because of the Word of God. Cybertron Megalodon, Rap Marathon, Freestyle Megalodon. They had not worshipped the beast or its image and had not received its mark on their foreheads or their hands. They came to life and realigned with Christ 1,000 years of beers, cheers, drinking all of these beers, saying cheers. A third angel followed them and said in a loud voice, if anyone worships the beast and its image and receives its mark on their forehead or on their hand, they too will drink the wine of God's fury, which has been poured full strength into the cup of his wrath. They will be tormented with burning sulfur and the presence of the holy angels and of the Lamb. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. It also forced people, great and small, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hands and their foreheads. Rapping again and again, I hiss and I jest, never ending spit and I rap, never ending spit and I rap, rapping again. Puff the magic dragon, I'm rapping, never ending. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loose out of his prison. In that day the Lord with his sword and great and strong sword shall punish Leviathan the piercing serpent, even Leviathan that crooked serpent, and he shall lay the dragon that is in the sea, rapping for eternity. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the world, the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him, rapping a national anthem, a rhythm, a symphony. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns upon his heads, rapping again and again. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years, saying cheers, drinking all of these beers. Thou didst divide the sea by thy strength. Thou breakest the heads of the dragons in the waters. Rapper, a never-ender, spitter, communicator, a commentator, narrator, rapper, speak and say, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I am against thee, Pharaoh, king of Egypt, the great dragon that lieth in the midst of his rivers, which hath said, my river is mine own, and I have made it for myself. My rhymes begin to melt. Awake, awake, put on strength, O arm of the Lord. Awake as in the ancient days and the generations of old. Art thou not at that half cut Rahab and wounded the dragon? They're ending. I'm rapping, I'm spitting, I'm singing. Their wine is the poison of dragons and the cruel venom of asps. Their ending raps. And thorns shall come up on her palaces, nettles, nestles, and brambles, and the fortresses thereof, and it shall be an habitation of dragons, and a court for owls, spit and rhyme, a foul, technical foul, an owl. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars, and she being with child cried, traveling in birth and pain to be delivered. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads, rapping in a mess. I hiss and I jest, and I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. And I saw rapper Cybertron appall, and I hated a suit and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Rapper and a mess with obsession, learning spiritual miracle possession. Therefore I will wail and howl, I will go stripped and naked. I will make a wailing like the dragons and mourning as the owls, a prowl of technical foul. Thou shalt tread upon the lion and adder, the young lion and the dragon shalt bow, trample under their feet, spitting a rhyme trampoline. And I saw three unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, rapping never ending, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet, never ending rapping, I mop it. His breath kindleth, coals, and a flame goeth out of his mouth. By power popping one in the mouth for speaking right now. Get the fuck out of town and stop speaking right now, wow. And the wild beast of the island shall cry, and their desolate houses and dragons in their pleasant palaces, and her time is near to come, and her day shall not be prolonged. Spitting a rap marathon, a megalodon. Praise the Lord from the earth, ye dragons in all deeps. And rapping an infinite T, and there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns upon his heads, and his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman which was ready to be delivered for to devour her child as soon as it was born. Rapping, I am torn, the beast of the field shall honor me, the dragons and the owls, technical foul, because I give waters in the wilderness and rivers and the desert, to give drink to my people, my chosen. Rapping a moment, and I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand, and he laid hold on the dragon, the old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him about 1,000 years, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. Never ending rhyming, I rap and I spill. And there was war in heaven, Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought against his angels. Rapper rebel. Thou hast sure broken us in the place of dragons, and covered us with the shadow of death. Rapping raps in a mess. Behold, now behemoth, which I made with thee, he eateth grass as an ox. Lo, now his strength is in his lions, and his force is in the navel of his belly. He moveth his tail like a cedar, the sinews of his stones are wrapped together. His bones are as strong pieces of brass, his bones are like bars of iron. He is the dragon, Puff the magic dragon, never ending. I'm rapping, and I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit, spitting, rapping again. And the wild asses did stand in the high places, they snuffed up the wind like dragons, their eyes did fail because there was no grass. Spitting rappers, blast your ass. Spitting rappers again, and there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. Spitting rappers, never ending rapper, never ender. Spitter, all rappers beware, you are in for a scare. There you spitting rappers beware. When tempted, no one should say, God is tempting me, for God cannot be tempted by evil, nor does he tempt anyone. Rap a dump, bump a bum bum. But each person is tempted when they are dragged away by their own evil desire and enticed. Never ending, the device rhymes. Then after desire has conceived, it gives birth to sin, and sin, when it is full grown, gives birth to death. Raps and a mess. Don't be conceived, my dear brothers and sisters. Never ender, rap annihilator, terminator. Every good and perfect gift is formed from above, coming down from the Father of the heavenly lights, who does not change like shifts and shadows. Rapping in a meadow, he choose to give us birth through the word of truth. Well, he might be a kind of this first fruits of all he created. Rapping a tolerated, or reach him the place he said to them, pray that you will not fall into temptation. Rap annihilation equation. They were using this question as a trap in order to have basis for accusing him, but Jesus bent down and started to write on the ground with his finger. Raps and a linger, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. Rap a dum bum ba bum bum. Forgive us our sins, for we also forgive everyone who sins against us, and leads us not into temptation, an infinite equation. When the devil had finished all this tempting, he left him until an opportune time, never-ending rhymes. But since sexual immortality is occurring, each man should have sexual relations with his own wife, and each woman with her own husband. Rapid, never-ending Cybertron, rap marathon, megalodon. No temptation has overtaken you except what is common to mankind, and God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. Rapper, rhymer, beware, you are in for a scare. But when you are tempted, he will also provide a way out so that you can endure it. Rapping, a fire of spitting rapper. Jesus answered him, it is also written, do not put the Lord your God to the test. Rappers in a mess. The spitting never ending, but Jesus, knowing their evil intent, said, you hypocrites, why are you trying to trap me? Spitting never ending, rap monopoly. Do not let your heart turn to her ways or astray into her paths. Many are the victims she has brought down. Her slain are a mighty throng. Spent rap marathon. What causes fights and quarrels among you? Don't they come from your desires? That battle within you, your desire but do not have. So you kill, you convey, but you cannot get what you want. So you quarrel and fight. You do not have because you do not ask God. Marathon, rap, Cybertron. When you ask, you do not receive because you ask with wrong motives, that you may spend what you get in your pleasures. You adulterous people, don't you know that friendship with the world means an enmity against God? Therefore, anyone who chooses to be a friend of the world becomes an enemy of God. Rap a blah blah. Dear friends, do not be surprised at the fiery ordeal that has come on you to test you, as though something strange were happening to you. Yet the truth, Scooby-Doo, toucan, Scooby-Doo, fruit of the loom. If this is so, when the Lord knows how to rescue the godly from trials and to hold the unrighteous for punishment on the day of judgment. And even though my illness was a trial to you, you did not treat me with contempt or scorn. Instead, you welcomed me as if I were an angel of God, as if I were Christ Jesus himself. Raps on the shelf. For this reason, when I could stand it no longer, I sent to find out about your faith. I was afraid that in some way the tempter had tempted you, and that our labors might have been in vain. Rampant, never ending in pain. Insane, there you go, spitting, never ending again. Or spitting, I said, for we do not have a high priest who cannot sympathize with our weakness, but one who has been tempted in all things as we were, yet without sin. Rap, ring a ring, teen. He made him who knew so sin to sin on our behalf, so that we might become the righteousness of God in him. Those things I have spoken to you, so that in me you may have peace. In the world you have tribulation, but take courage, I have overcome the world. It spins and it swirls and it whirls and it twirls, but with precious blood, as of a lamb unblemished and spotless, the blood of Christ. Or end in rhymes. Then Jesus was led up by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. And after he had fasted for 40 days and 40 nights, and he then became hungry, and the tempter came and said to him, if you are the Son of God, command that these stones become bread. Rapid in a mess. Immediately the Spirit impelled him to go out into the wilderness. You know that he appeared in order to take away sins, and in him there is no sin. Rapid up, ring, and he was in the wilderness 40 days being tempted by Satan, and he was with the wild beasts, and the angels were ministering to him. And Jesus was led up by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. A shovel, a rap, a novel. And after he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he then became hungry. And the tempter came and said to him, if you are the Son of God, command that these stones become bread. A yellow about the purple jelly, red jam, black bread that Ted fed Fred. Jesus, full of the Holy Spirit, returned from the Jordan and was led around by the Spirit in the wilderness for 40 days being tempted by the devil. And he ate nothing during those days. And when they had ended, he became hungry, and the devil said unto him, if you are the Son of God, tell the stone to become bread. Wrap up, yellow about the purple jelly, red jam, up, yellow jam, red, black bread that Ted fed bread of bread dead. bed. From that time, Jesus began to show his disciples that he must go to Jerusalem and suffer many things from the elders and chief priests and scribes and be killed and be raised up on the third day. Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him, saying, God forbid it, Lord, this shall never happen to you. But he turned and said to Peter, Get behind me, Satan, you are a stumbling block to me, for you are not setting your mind on God's interest, but man. Spit and rap-a-dam, wham-bam. And he began to teach them that the Son of Man must suffer many things and be rejected by the elders and the chief priests and the scribes and be killed, and after 3 days rise again. Rapping a ram-bam, crucified, blasphemy, never-ending rhymes. And he was stating the matter plainly, and Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. He turned around and seeing his disciples, he rebuked Peter and said, Get behind me, Satan, for you are not setting your mind on God's interest, but man's. Wham-bam, thank you, a man. They came to a place named Spit and Rapid. When he arrived at the place, he said to them, Pray that you may not enter into temptation. And he withdrew from them about a stone's throw, and he knelt down and began to pray, saying, Father, if you are willing, remove this cup from me, yet not my will, but yours be done. Rap-a-dum, bum-ba-bum-bum. Those passing by were hurling abuse at him, wagging their heads and saying, You who are going to destroy the temple and rebuild it in 3 days, save yourself. If you are the Son of God, come down from the cross. In the same way, the chief priests also, along with the scribes and elders, were knocking him and saying, rapping, never ending again. In the same way, the chief priests also, along with the scribes, were mocking him among themselves and saying, He saved others. He cannot save himself. But this Christ, the King of Israel, now come down from the cross, so that we may see and believe. Those who were crucified with him were also insulting him, rapping a national anthem, a rhythm. The soldiers also mocked him, coming up to him, offering him sour wine and saying, If you are the King of the Jews, save yourself. Rapping raps on the shelf. One of the criminals who were hanged there was hurling abuse at him, saying, Are you not that but Christ? Save yourself and us. Spit and rap at us. Others to test him were demanding of him a sign from heaven, rapping never ending. Then some of the scribes and Pharisees said to him, Teacher, we want to see a sign from you. But he answered and said to them, An evil and adulterous generation craves for a sign, and yet no sign will be given to it but the sign of Jonah the prophet. As the clouds were increasing, he began to say, This generation is a wicked generation that seeks for a sign, and yet no sign will be given but the sign of Jonah. Been rapping a kahona, akuna matata. A rap out, no worries about the thing. Every little thing's gonna be alright. Akuna matata means no worries. Every little thing is gonna be alright. Never end and rap about. The Jews then said to him, What sign do you show us as your authority for doing these things? So they said unto him, What then do you do for a sign, so that we may see and believe you? And what work do you perform? Rapadorm a foreign. For since he himself is tempted in that which he has suffered, he is able to come to the aid of those who are tempted. Their end in ramping. For we do not have a high priest who cannot sympathize without our weakness. Rapping, never ender, I'm spitter. Never ender, I'm spitting. I'm rapping, never ending. What must be wrong with my head? Spitting, never ending again and again. What must be wrong with my head? You never stop rapping again and again. Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves. I know this is a spitting rapper, but the prophet who presumes to speak a word in my name that I have not commanded him to speak, or who speaks in the name of other gods, that same prophet shall die. And if you say in your heart, How may we know the word that the Lord has not spoken? When a prophet speaks in the name of the Lord, if the word does not come or pass or come true, that is a word that the Lord has not spoken. The prophet has spoken in presumptuously. You need not be afraid of him. Rapping again and again. This is spitting never ending, I said. Spitting rapping again. I am astonished that you are so quickly deserting him who called you in grace of Christ and are turning to a different gospel. Rapping up monopolo. Not that there is another one, but there are some who trouble you and want to distort the gospel of Christ. But even if we are an angel, a arch, a tamil, a ramble from heaven, we should preach to you a gospel contrary to the one we preach to you. Let him be accursed, as we have said before. So now I say again, if anyone is preaching to you a gospel contrary to the one you received, let him be accursed. Wrapped in rhymes and it hurts. Never end, and a preacher may feel important. You may get tingly or excited or weepy hearing the message rapping. Beloved, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits to see whether they are from God, or many false prophets have gone out into the world, spitting rhyme and never ending. For such men are false apostles, deceitful workmen, disguising themselves as apostles of Christ. And no wonder, for even Satan disguises himself as an angel of light. So it is no surprise if his servants also disguise themselves servants of righteousness. Their end will correspond to their deeds. Rap in discreetly, never endingly. 102 minutes for eternity. My 102-minute freestyle. Bye-bye.